And so they route all the traffic over down 2 lanes, and there's a concrete barrier at the edge of both outside lanes, and there's no shoulders. So, but everybody's moving along really good. I don't know, 70 mile an hour limit, but maybe they had to drop down to 60. I don't know. But everybody's moving along well, and I've got this earpiece on, a hands-free device. I'm talking to Fred Smart about something, and then there was this little pickup truck with a sort of makeshift trailer that started coming over, and he just kept coming, and there was no place for me to go. I was going to hit him, and I just tried to avoid him, but the concrete wall was right here, so I had to brake and to avoid him. And I don't know what the guy driving the tractor trailer full of had a flatbed full of iron pipes, and he was out of West Virginia, and he plowed into the back of me. Holy gee! I mean, I lost consciousness just for a moment, and but all the stuff in the van just flew around, and his phone, I found it later, and it hit the windshield and was down behind the dash, but it was still open and on, and Fred Smart heard everything. I mean, if you've ever been in a wreck, gosh, those cars hit you. But anyway, he normally with somebody like that, with that mass, hits a van, like I had a full-size van, but it would propel that van, right? When you hit it like that, you're going to propel it. And but he hit it, but a good part of the back of my van, bumper and everything, got enmeshed with his bumper and radiator and everything, the front of his vehicle, and so it could only propel so far because. But it was totally twisted around. The roof was taken off, raised off the side, but it's total. But so I got out of that alive. So anyway, they took me off and X-rayed, did CAT scan and X-ray and said no bleeding inside and no broken bones, but it was my head and neck. My head was thrown back, and I had this huge hematoma back here, this bump. It's huge. And a headache most of the day and night. But anyway, here I am.
So what are you driving now?
So I had to, that's a problem. I had to deal with the insurance companies and everything. So I got another van, but all they had was a minivan. And I had a full-size van where everything was in its place, and it was very comfortable. And now I got this minivan, and all the stuff's piled in there, and all the clothes. I had a clothes rack, because I'm gone like 2 months, right? And so it's not adequate, but I've been trying to get a larger van to make it more comfortable. It's a good thing my wife wasn't with me. She has been with me on this trip, but she wanted to stay home because for these 2 weeks, because she is very tight with a number of women up there. And for 40 years, they've been bowling together, and they celebrate one another's birthdays. And so one of them had a birthday, and so she was home for that. And she just flew down here to Austin yesterday to meet me. We're together now, but if she had been in the van, I don't think she would have taken it as well as I did. I mean, it was a joke. When was this Constitution adopted? Anybody? 1780 something. You're close.
89?
No? 1787, right. And what's that?
June 21st, 1786. I'm sorry, 88. That's when New Hampshire ratified.
Okay. What was the Bill of Rights added? You know this. You know John knows. He said in the Constitution.org. What was the Bill of Rights added? Anybody? How long did it take? 1791. Many of the states said, yeah, we'll go along with this if there's a Bill of Rights. And so it took 4 years, but eventually the Bill of Rights was added. So is this a who does the who does the Constitution, the founding documents, you can't talk about the Constitution without talking about the Declaration of Independence, in my opinion. One is the Charter, and the other is the bylaws. One lays out some essential principles, and the other is a set of principles to govern who?
The government.
Right. It's a set of principles to govern the government. They're hardly mentioned except that we adopt it. So we have all of these prohibitions and restrictions and mandates that we, the people, have placed on the government. We set the government up to secure our rights. Our rights are endowed by the Creator. They're individual rights, they're unalienable rights, and we decide we need a government to secure those rights, to protect us, one from another and from others. Is the government violating the Constitution?
Yeah.
Really?
All over the time.
Everybody seems to agree. What are they violating? What provisions? What prohibitions? What restrictions? What mandates?
Second Amendment, the First Amendment.
Second, well, one at a time. One at a time. The Second Amendment. So we have some federal gun control laws. I would agree. Most of those are unconstitutional. First Amendment. Redress of grievances. In what way are they violating?
They don't respond to.
You got it. They don't answer. Exactly. Any other provisions?
We're also taking away our freedom to assemble and gather and
Free speech zones.
Free speech zones at certain events. Did you say something back there?
Fourth Amendment. What else?
The privacy, the so-called privacy clauses?
Without just compensation, how does the
I mean, the Fifth Amendment?
Is that what I'm thinking of? That's what.
Well, taking property without just compensation?
Yeah.
Fifth Amendment, John?
Even to corporations.
Well, why not make it simple? They're violating every provision.
No, wait. Well, let's go through this first. All right, so you said property, right?
Yeah.
The Kellogg case comes to mind, where the Supreme Court, part of the government, right, allowed the city of Bridgeport to take somebody's private land for the purpose of giving it to another private party because they could receive more taxes from that other private party. So what other provisions of the Constitution are being violated? We're on a roll. There must be some more. Tenth Amendment. How are they violating that?
Well, I mean, one of the drug wars, there's many states that do want to make marijuana legal, and the federal government, still keeps it illegal, when they have no right or state to tell them.
That's interesting. I'm not terribly familiar with that. So you're saying that the states, some of the states want to authorize, but are not allowed to. There's no state.
They do, but they still come in and arrest people for, even though in their state that they live in, it is not illegal to own, possess medicinal marijuana, and they still arrest people and raid facilities and plants that grow it. When they have, the city has a ribbon cutting, ceremony, and they're opening up this great business that's going to help sick people, and the whole, city council, mayor, and everybody in there, then the federal government comes in and,
Sounds like a violation to me.
Yeah.
Other restrictions or prohibitions of the Constitution that are being violated by the federal government.
Well, Fifth Amendment with the vampire cop stuff.
The vampire cops. What is that?
That is Austin.
Not just Austin.
Well, vampire cops.
What are they?
Vampire
I'm from
cops.
New York. I live in the mountains in New York.
Okay, so our police chief,
Yeah.
Art Acevedo, is wanting to get federal grant money to train police officers to take people's blood if they refuse a breathalyzer test.
Vampire cops, I
And
get it.
they do strap them down. And the way vampire cops came on Halloween was their first no refusal
Oh my
weekend.
gosh.
And they strap people down and take their blood by warrant. They do get a warrant, and that's how they get around that.
So it sounds like an invasion of privacy as well, right? Other provisions? Yes, ma'am. Well, hi, Vicki.
Hi.
Has anyone mentioned